All right. Welcome everybody back to Shot the 3D Experience podcast. We're joined here with John Lennox from Pennsylvania. He is the owner of Patriot Signs and Graphics, um, longtime outdoor enthusiast, and he's been around with the outdoor show arena as a promoter from Boston, New York. Is that right, John?
It is, yep, the thriving metropolis.
And then you currently are moving to Crowder Sport area.
Yep, in the process of moving to Coudersport, and we've had our shop here for going on 4 years, and I've worked in this market for a number of years, and it's just getting to the point where the commute isn't that much fun.
Awesome. Well, it's glad to have you on here. Super excited about our event that's coming up in August at Denton Go State Park. So we are pumped about that. This is as far as we've ever been away from home. And really, from our end, we don't know what to expect with the crowds up there. And I'm sure the crowd really don't know what to expect with us. So that's one of the reasons we're doing this podcast, just kind of go over some Q's and A's about what Shot the 3D Experience is. And for some of our guys that are going to be making the trip up to Pennsylvania, what that's going to be like at Denton Go State Park. So, man, thanks for joining us tonight, and let you kind of talk about how this all got started.
Well, thanks, guys. I've been excited about doing this podcast with you since you invited me last week, and it's just because there is such a story to tell, not just with what's happened in the past, obviously, with what you guys are doing as well. And Denton Hill State Park has been around forever, and they held archery shoots there for a number of years. And the shoots were extremely popular. They had a traditional shoot and they had a compound shoot. And that ended a number of years back. And really what happened is Denton Hill State Park shut down. I think the park might have still been open, but the lodge wasn't open. Skiing went away, chairlifts went away. And with that, the archery shoots went away. And so in the last 4 or 5 years, a group called Denton Go, which is run by Todd, Jason, and Scott. And that name is significant. Denton Go. It's Denton Go skiing, Denton Go hiking, Denton Go hunting, Denton Go ATV riding. They built the name from there. But as they took over this property through the DCNR, the question that they get hammered with the most is, when are you going to bring back an archery shoot to Denton Hill State Park? So this is something that's lacking in the area. I mean, when those shoots went away, this area suffered, with especially your 3D shooters and your archers. And so what happened was those guys reached out to me. I've known Todd for a long time and worked with Todd. And he came to me knowing my past experience in show promotion in Rochester, New York, and Syracuse, New York. And said, really, we got to bring a shoot back to Denton Hill. And could you help us do that? And I said, well, sure. I've worked in the outdoor industry for 12 years. And, archery is my passion. And so I started researching. And, of course, we all know the shoots that are out there, the R100, the TAC shoots, great events in and of themselves. And just started researching what we were looking for. And that's when I came across you guys with Shot the 3D Experience, and just kind of made an exploratory phone call to you, Jereme, and talking with you a little bit. The thing that attracted us to you guys at first was your willingness to work with us, your willingness to work with our shooters, the willingness to work with our vendors to make this a fantastic event. So in other words, you guys weren't going to come in with a cookie cutter kind of event. This is how it's going to work. This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to dot your I's and cross your T's. It was more a matter of, what are you guys looking for? Tell us about the property. Tell us about the past shoots. Tell us what your archers want. And that really was the thing that pushed us over the edge in wanting to work with you guys. Obviously, in addition to your past success with the shoots that you've been doing out in the Midwest. And that's what kind of brought us, to you guys. And then last year, if you guys, I'm sure you remember, but last summer we were trying to push you to come and do kind of a modified event just to get our feet wet and, not trying to put any undue pressure on you guys, but that'll show you how excited we are and the area is for, excuse me, for bringing a shoot back to countersport. And so obviously that wasn't going to happen because I know the time it takes you guys to put together a new event. But here we are in 2026, getting ready to bring a 3D archery shoot back to Denton Hill State Park, and it's a pretty special thing.
Yeah, I remember, the initial phone calls from last year, and there was a little bit of I wouldn't say pressure, but I could tell you guys were very enthusiastic about trying to hit 2025, and it was towards the end of our season, and it takes a lot for us to plan out a year, and we were just like, man, we want to go. This sounds exciting, but come around June, last year specifically, we were pretty well smoked from the full year of events, and we just didn't have it in us, probably emotionally, physically, and for the gear and staffing to be able to make it up there to do it last year. So we're like, man, let's push it a year and let's make it a really good event instead of trying to quote unquote half-ass it this year. So I'm kind of glad that we did that. It's given us time to plan for it, update our website. There's just a lot that goes in behind the scenes to make one of these events happen, especially on our partners and our sponsors that are wanting to travel with us. There's that consideration to make too. So we pushed it a year, and now we were able to plan it properly. And I think we're going to have a really good, showing for the folks in Pennsylvania and New York when we get there in about a month and a half.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It was the right move to hold off and do it this year. And all good things come to those who wait. I know we've built a lot of anticipation. The inquiries that I'm getting just through my Facebook page, through the website, and just through people in the area, it's been phenomenal. And I think let's face it. People are saying that 3D archery is dying, and I couldn't disagree more. I think what's happened is, most 3D courses in your local community are at a small bow shop. The guy's got a bow shop, he puts up a course, and it's not that 3D suffered. What's happened is it's become increasingly more difficult to run a small archery shop in a small town. Profit margins are lower. You've got the advent of the online stuff, and so when the small shops are closing, so are the bow courses or the 3D courses. And so when you can bring an event like this to a community that's been starved for 3D archery, it creates a lot of buzz and a lot of excitement. Combine that with obviously the past of Denton Hill State Park. And so some of the questions that we're getting, and you've clarified some of these, I've put them up on social media, but the thing that people seem to be most intrigued by are the novelty shoots. And you guys are going to do a much better job of explaining them than I do. But talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll take that, because that's one thing that kind of leads to last year's hesitant on doing something last year, because our novelty shoots and our base camp atmosphere is one thing that we kind of pride ourselves on. And we didn't have the sponsorship stuff to go up there with. We had a designated number of stuff. So that's one reason why we didn't want to go last year. We added it in this year. Everything's good to go. We are 100% on everything. So our novelty stuff, I think we have some of the best giveaways out there on any of the archery events going right now. And I'll get into all of those here in just a minute. But one of the things that we like to do is the involvement with not only the owners, but our staff members. We all like to get involved. You're going to shoot against us for prizes. You're going to get to hang out and shoot with us on we may just see a group of 50 people standing around eating burgers or hot dogs or whatever, and we're going to holler at you to come over here, and we're all going to take a shot. It may be an exploding target. It may be a long shot target. We're going to have fun. That's the whole point in all of this. And this is kind of what made us, is taking that time to not just run an event and let everybody go shoot, but to actually spend time and get to know these people and shoot against them and shoot with them. and get the kids involved. We have some kids stuff that we do through some of our sponsors, Bill Sporting Goods being one of the big sponsors for that. Man, and I think once Pennsylvania gets a hold of that, once you guys see that, you understand why we didn't want to come last year, because this is one thing that we like, man. And the atmosphere around base camp is top notch. Our staff members, some of our staff members that we have are just awesome guys that love archery, passionate about it. Let me stress, they are volunteers taking time off to do all this. So that's how passionate they are about what we do for the community. So, so we're going to go roll into some of the novelty shots. So novelty shots, if anybody does not know, it's where you can purchase tickets from the registration booth. We have a couple of different options. They're $5 a ticket, or you can get 5 tickets for $20, or our best package is you can $100 will get you 30 tickets. Most of our novelty items are 1 ticket items. You can shoot for 1 ticket. We have some others that cost a few more, but we'll get to those towards the end here. So one of them is the Saddle Up Challenge. So we have a saddler that you can strap up into a saddle, which is a buzzard roost saddle. And you're going to shoot a pair of buzzards, Wild Creek buzzard targets. And there's 2 of them. And you got to score 20. Now, you can shoot 8 and a 12 or 2 10s, however you need to do it. But you have to shoot both of them. And your name is going to get entered if you make 20 to win a custom buzzard roost saddle from Buzzard Roost Saddles. It's something that a lot of guys like because they've never been in a saddle before. So you can actually get up, you're off the ground, you're in the saddle, you're making the shot, you're getting to shoot, and it's a tough little target. The score rings are kind of small. It's not a horribly hard shot, but it's enough to get your attention. But yeah, that's sponsored by Buzzard Roost Saddles out of Louisiana. They've been with us for the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I want to add to that. You said it's a tough shot. It's not impossible. We had a guy at the last event. He wanted to buy a Buzzard Roost saddle, but he held off on the purchase. He said, "Here's 30 tickets. I'm going to spend them all on this Buzzard Roost deal. I'm going to see how many times I can get in there." I think he got in like 13 out of 30, and he ended up winning the Buzzard Roost saddle. So for like $70, he bought himself a $550 saddle setup, and he was just happy as can be. So it's very doable, and there's some strategy that some guys will play with these novelty shots.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of strategy that goes into these, and some of them we have some guys that walk around and they wait till the end of the day and see who what one does not have the most names on it, and then they start playing that one, throwing their names in there. So there is some strategy to it. It's luck of the draw, though. We do have some instant win stuff that we're getting into, but also alongside the saddle shot, we have the let me get to it here because there's a bunch of challenges. We have the Wheel of Destiny. The Wheel of Destiny is one of our personal favorites, and it's also a crowd favorite, and that's sponsored by Okie Land Bow Hunters and Vortex. And the Wheel of Destiny is just like what it sounds. You have a little wheel on a computer screen. You're going to spin it, and there's several destinies that you can get on this thing. One of them is hold them and fold them. So you're going to hold your bow for 60 seconds at full draw, and then you have to shoot a 10 ring on the designated target that we have out there. And we have 4 of them out there, and they're roughly 20, 25, 30, 35, or I'm sorry, 25, 30, 35, and 40. And so whoever's running that tent will pick which one you 10 ring. Then the next destiny is we have gone in 60 seconds. You have to make 3 shots in 60 seconds, just in the 10 ring on whatever designated target that they have sitting out there. Then you have a bust on there. So you got a chance that you may have to throw another ticket in to get something. Then you have a 12 ring it. You must 12 ring the designated target. There's a spin again on there. And then there's a call out. So the call out is you can call out any staff member that's got a bow on them right there in the base camp area. And that person gets to pick out the target. So he can pick me and we can shoot whatever target we want to shoot out there. And if he wins, he gets his entry for the optics package, Vortex optics package. That's where it makes it exciting for us, because after setting up everything all week and getting everything done, we actually get to hang out. And when we get to interact and shoot with you guys, that's what makes it exciting. So that's a fun one for us. Then we have versus. Versus is against the person actually running the booth. So you don't get to pick anybody. You don't get to pick on anyone. You just get to shoot against whoever's running that booth. And it's the same thing. If you beat them in whatever target you're shooting at, they get their entry for that. Then we have the push-up close. And what the push-ups is, if you do 1 to 5 push-ups, you shoot the 40-yard target. If you can do 5 to 10 push-ups, you're going to go every 5 push-ups get you 5 yards to the closer target. So if you do 15 push-ups, you get to the 30-yard target. If you do 20 push-ups, it gets you to the 25-yard target. So the more push-ups you do, the closer the target is, better the shot opportunity is for you. And
but you're also
yeah
wore out from doing push-ups too. So it's strategy game there too.
Little bit. If you're feeling confident at 40, just do 1 push-up, call it good, and let it go. But that's a fun one. Along with the call outs, if you just want to call out a staff member at that for this entry, and that's just for the entry for the Vortex Optics package, you can just throw 2 tickets down and just strictly call out anybody. So if you see me down there, Jereme, Mike, Pam, hopefully Amber's busy. You won't be able to pick on her, but sometimes she gets unbusy and you guys can pick on Amber a little bit too. But whoever's out there, Timbo got his bow with him, pick on him. Go call them out, and we like that. So then we have the Tacticam, the Reveal Your Skill Challenge. And what that is, it is gone in 60 seconds, but with a little bit of a twist. So you're going to carry a 30-pound rucksack, 25 yards down and back. No time, no right way, wrong way to do it. You can drag it, carry it, however you want to do it. Down and back 25 yards. And then you have 60 seconds to shoot 3 arrows at our Wild Creek Flamingo target. Every arrow that you get inside that 10 ring is an entry for a Tacticam package. And that Tacticam package includes 3 Tacticam 3.0 cell cameras, LiPo batteries, solar panels, antennas, Defend home security camera, and a feather snap bird feeder. But if you don't want to shoot the Flamingo, you can pay an extra ticket and shoot through our Tacticam. We have a metal camera cut out with a sticker on it that looks just like a Tacticam. Got a hole about that big around in it. And you can pay 2 tickets, shoot 1 arrow, get all 3 entries. And so if you don't want to fool with shooting a Flamingo at 52 yards, throw 1 arrow through the metal one. And it's probably going to be 24, 25, 26 yards, somewhere in there. But that's for an end of the year package. So everybody that gets entered into that one, we'll do the drawing after the Pennsylvania event. The cool thing I didn't mention with the Saddle Up and the Wheel of Destiny is those are event only. So whoever's in those for that event is getting drawn to win at that event. How we usually do that is we'll get back home, settle down. A couple days later, then we'll do the podcast and we'll announce all the winners on Facebook and everything and get everything shipped to you. The next one we have, which is one of our better packages, I think, is the Group Therapy Challenge, and that's sponsored by Sever and Easton. And what you're going to do is 40th yards, we have a Sever block target, and you're going to shoot 1 arrow with a Sever broadhead on it locked into place. You're going to shoot it first, and then you're going to shoot 2 of your arrows. And the point of this is to show how good these fly, just like your field points. And so you're going to make a group down there. And if you get in that group, we're pretty lenient with the group. It doesn't have to be dead center. If your group's all high left, it's group therapy. That's all we're needing. We just need you to shoot a group. And that's going to enter you to win a block target, brand new Sever block target. It's going to win a Sever broadhead package, which is, I believe, is 12 Sever broadheads of your choice. And you're going to get a dozen Easton Axis arrows. So that is an event only giveaway too. So pretty good package there. Then we have on course, we call it the surprise shot. At one of our courses, whether it's the end or the beginning, sometimes we try to get it where it's the end of one and beginning of the other, or the beginning of 2. But we have the surprise shot, and that's sponsored by Evolution Outdoors. You're going to be shooting at our ibex target, and you're going to be shooting an ibex hinge from Evolution Outdoors or their thumb button, the Shadow. And if you shoot the hinge, you just need to be in the 10 ring. If you shoot the thumb button, you have to be in the 12 ring. And that's going to get you entered to win one or the other of those releases, whatever one you want from Evolution Outdoors. But along with that, everybody that gets entered and makes the shot is going to get a hat that says, I made the shot at Denton State Park. And we're going to have a cool design, different hat. We've done different hats at every event, different logos. So I got the guy working on one right now, and I'm excited to see how that one turns out. So for one ticket, you got a chance to possibly win a release from Evolution Outdoors and a cool hat. So,
And with the hat, the only way you can get that hat is making that shot. We don't offer that hat to sell. It's kind of a badge of honor. I made that shot at Denton Go, at Arrowhead State Park, at Sequoia State Park. We got guys that follow us to every event, so they try to collect all the hats. But that's the only way that you can receive that hat is by making that novelty shot.
Okay.
yep. So then we move on to the bigger ticket items, and we have the Iron Bison Challenge. That is a white iron bison that has shot written across it, and the O in shot is a 2.5-inch diameter hole, and you're going to put an arrow through there unscathed. It's got to be a shootable arrow, and that is an entry to win a trip to Africa with me, Jereme, and Tim. And it may not be me, Jereme, and Tim. It may be Jereme and Tim. It may be a staff member and Jereme, but it's going to be staff members and one of us owners going to be there with you. And that's at Elite Hunting Outfitters. And our winner from last year, we'll be going in September. So we haven't been yet. September will be our first one we get to go to. But we're excited for this. Heck of a package. The person is going to get 3 animals out there. Only thing he's got to pay for is his flight and his taxidermy. So pretty awesome win there. And that is a 2 ticket for an arrow to shoot right there at that one. And then our iconic, the one that kind of started it all for us is our long shot challenge, our buffalo, 106 yards, 107 yards. And that is our big white bison that we have out. It's got shot written across it. The O is the 12 ring. It is 3 tickets a shot, or you can get 5 shots for 10 tickets. So each arrow you get inside of that O, inside out, can't be touching the line. You're going to have a chance to win the side-by-side that we have. We got shot stickers on it, all of our sponsor stickers on it. Polaris Ranger from Antlers Motorsports. So that's an entry for Polaris, and for the event, a dart and bow. So everybody that gets in Pennsylvania, just those guys are going to be entered for a dart and bow. And then at the end of everything, we'll put everybody who got entered into that and draw for the side-by-side. But one is taken over kind of one of the more, I guess because of instant win gratification, one that's been kind of popular for us is our 200-yard shot. And what that is, our big, giant bison that we have, Wild Creek target, 200 yards, and we have a little Firebird puck that's about that big around. And the first person to hit that thing is going home with a bow. We don't exactly have the exact bow set up just yet, but we're still working on it. We will have that in the next coming weeks. But instant win on a bow, and it's just $5 a shot. And somebody has won that thing at all but 2 of these events so far. If nobody hits it, because we're giving it away regardless, but if nobody hits that Firebird puck, everybody that gets in the core of that target is getting their name written down, and we're doing a drawing from everybody that gets inside the core. So awesome way to win a bow. That one usually is really busy at the first of the go round because everybody wants to be the first one to win it and take it off the block there. But we have some awesome stuff, man. I can't wait for you guys to see it, because I think that's what truly makes it us, is because we have so much interaction, hanging out and shooting. it's not just people coming up and paying us money to just shoot and we just sit there and watch it. We're right there in it, amongst it. I'm calling the shots on the 106-yard and the 200-yard shot, telling you where you're hitting. I got the spotting scope out there. We're watching it. We're going down and checking them. We're talking about it. It's a fun time. And then we got Mike and Pam that help run novelty shots, and there's some killers there. You don't want to challenge. There's some of these guys you don't want to challenge a whole lot. And Pam's got a recurve, so she's the trad girl out there, and she's going to be making you shoot her trad bow on some of these challenges. So it's interesting.
Well, now here's a guy here sitting in front of you that's got more birthdays behind him that's going to have in front of him probably. I don't even know if I could see 200 yards.
It's a big target, John. It's a full size bison. You'll be able to see it. But in addition to the nollie shots, more engagement, in addition to that is like our staff members, me included, will sometimes just like take off and go out on a course and find a group, and I might carry some hats with me or some shirts or a pair of binoculars or whatever, and I'll challenge a group to the shot, whatever they're on, and be like, okay, guys, whoever can beat me on this shot, instantly wins a hat or whatever. We really try to involve the staff members on the courses, at the base camp, at the novelty shots, and challenge everybody and just make it fun.
Yeah. The last one that I have is our Bill's Sporting Goods Kids Zone, and we're going to have some targets set up for the kids. Every kid that is 14 and under is going to be able to come in, and all they have to do is just pay a ticket. We're going to have some challenges for them, but if they pay a ticket, they're going to get their name written down to win a Genesis bow. We also have a few random targets that we're give away. If we see a kid out there really trying, or, we just kind of pick a kid here and there that looks like maybe he's a new archer and he's 3 years old with his dad, just having the time of his life. We'll pick him out and let him go shoot a target and give him a target to take home with him. That's one of the things that we really like to do and watch these kids get involved. They get to kind of do the same thing they're watching their moms and dads do on the novelty shot, so it gets some excitement for them. It's one thing that's Bill Sporting Goods has been on par with that and making sure that happens for us every time. So
beautiful. It's exciting. I mean, it's again, going back to kind of what I said before is in talking with you guys, I know that you're not cookie cutter. And that's one of the things that's exciting. The fact that you're setting these shoots up the way you are, the novelty shots, and involving yourself with the shooters, involving yourself with our folks. And it's just going to be a ton of fun.
It is, man. And we're really looking forward to it because some of the events that we've done them several times. We see the same people over and over, and that is awesome. We love that. But when we get the new folks that have never experienced shot, man, it brings a little bit more spark to everybody, right? Like when you get new guys that come out there that you haven't seen, like going to Pennsylvania, first time, we're going to see a lot of new faces. They're all going to be new faces. There are going to be a few of them I know traveling up there to go to it, but man, that's what brings the excitement when they come off of a course or you shoot against them and you beat them a couple times and then they beat you and they can start razzing you and the good banner back and forth that you get and the camaraderie that you get from these guys and girls. Some of these girls, man, I've had my butt kicked by some girls here lately. They've been really outgunning me here lately. So we also get the 15 and 16-year-old kids that come out there, and I have a couple of them that all they want to do is come out there and shoot, man. Yeah, Jereme gets picked on. He picks on all of us, but he likes to pick on Jereme. They shoot for arrows. So how many arrows have you lost to Briar?
So that one right there, Briar Parker, shout out to him. He's come to a lot of our events, and he always challenges me. And the last event that we had at Sequoia State Park a few weeks ago, early June, I finally beat him because he's beat me every single time. And I have to sign my arrow and hand it to him. And he has like a wall where he has a bunch of my arrows up there, like it's a trophy. So I finally beat him and said, man, I'm going to put that arrow up so the podcast can see it every time we do a podcast. So that's Briar Parker's arrow. I got him fair and square after about 3 or 4 tries. And I told him I'd give him a shout out on one of these podcasts. So there it is. I think I might build a trophy for it.
That's exaggeration. They literally shoot for arrows.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you.
He's got a quiver full of mine. But
man, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun though. I mean, and that's what it creates, those connections with. They're not just somebody that shows up and pays an entry fee anymore, right? That's kind of the whole game plan from the beginning. If you guys have watched our origin story or any of that stuff, you know, the interactions that we've had with some other archers out there, kind of was like, man, that's how we have to be with everybody. And I think it really shows at our events, and the people that come back repeatedly, you know, I think it really shows that we're on the right track with that. And it's just what we believe and how we do it. I mean, SHOT stands for shooting, hunting, and outdoors traditions. So like, we're trying to start those traditions everywhere we go. It's not just about shooting your bow. It's about making connections and making traditions that everybody can carry on throughout time. You know, when you bring your kid, hopefully your 14-year-old kid is still shooting SHOT the 3D experience when he's 20 something years old with his buddies. You know, that's what we want.
Sure. Do now the courses themselves, you know, we're talking, we got 5 courses, 150 plus targets. Talk a little bit about the targets they'll be shooting.
You want to take that, Brian? You want me to?
Go ahead, man.
Okay, so we have for sure going to be 5. There might be 6. That's going to be kind of a game day decision when we go to set up. We haven't put boots on the ground as far as our staff at SHOT at Denton Go. So I know we'll have at least 5. There may be a 6th one if we have the room and we've got the targets to do it. So if we have the time and room to do it, we'll put 6 out there. All right, we're back. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties last night with some, I guess you could say, technology. We had to end the podcast a little bit early. We didn't get to finish up. So we decided we'd pause it, huddle back up today, and do the second part of this podcast. And I think we left off with course descriptions, and I was about to talk about the Scree course, which is our extreme course. It's extreme in the fact that it is the longest in the hiking distance, and it has the longest yardage of shots. So that's our long bomb course. Depending on the venue, we'll have anywhere from 100-yard shots to 130-yard shots on that course. Not every shot on that course is going to be 100 yards, but we will sprinkle those in. I would say the average is probably 85 or 90 for that course. At the last venue, we did have some that were 130 yards out. Now, they're big targets. We have some really, really life-size big targets. So on the long bombs, we'll use a life-size Cape Buffalo or an elk or a kudu. We have a zebra target. Some other big ones out there too. So that's our Scree course. And then the next one down from that is a 80-yard max distance Rolling Bones Outfitters. They sponsor that. They are a tag service company, I guess you could say, and you can book hunts through them as well. What I use them for is all of my out-of-state draw tags that I want to apply for. They handle everything for you. So they take all your information, your hunting license, and basically you give them everything but your mother's maiden name. And you say, I want to apply for Colorado, Wyoming, and, Arizona. Here's what I want to apply for: elk, mule deer, antelope. And they do all your applications for you. That way you don't miss any dates. You don't mess up anything, and it's all handled by them. And luckily, I got drawn in a couple times. Brian's gotten drawn in a couple times. It just takes all the stress off of us and puts it on them. So it's a
That's
good service.
awesome.
It's like, I think $200 a year to have the gold membership, and that gets you multiple states to draw in on. And you can also get discounted rates on outfitted guided hunts. That's another service they offer. So one thing that Bryan uses them a lot for is his son. Was he 8 or 9 years old right now?
Hey, but he started back last year when he was 7, and I just collect points everywhere I can collect points until he gets old enough to go actually. That way, when he's 21 or something like that, I can take him on a cool hunt. He's got enough points, hopefully, to draw for wherever he wants to go. So that's what I.
And it takes the stress off of you of like, which ones do I need?
Worrying about it. Yeah.
What are the dates and all that? You just say, hey, I want to get my son in on every tag or points that he can get on, and it's handled by them. So it's a cool deal. So the Rolling Bones course,
it's called Rolling Bones.
Rolling Bones Outfitters.
Outdoor Adventure Hub.
Outdoor Adventure Hub. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Let me taking a note real quick.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Sir.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be there at our event with a booth. So
beautiful.
He'll be there to sign up members, and he also sells some gear too. Adam's a real awesome dude. He can explain everything in detail, and you get a little dashboard for all the states that you're on. It's a cool service. But the Rolling Bones course is a max yardage of 80 yards. Every now and then we might throw in one that's 85 or something like that, but it really depends on the venue and the terrain. 85 yards, and it's more of a long distance hunting scenario type of course. So we're going to put some tree limbs in the way. You're going to shoot through some tight quarters. Where we're going in Pennsylvania, you're going to deal with some side hill stuff. So your third axis needs to be 100% on. And it's a really fun course. So you'll see a lot of rams and deer, those style of targets on that course. And then the next one down from that is a max yardage of 60 yards. And that's our title sponsor of the event. That's Wild Creek Targets. If you haven't heard of them, look up Wild Creek. That's CRETE targets. They're out of South Africa. They are the most realistic targets you can find on this planet. They are absolutely awesome.
Anatomically correct as well.
Anatomically correct. Like they will have everything. The buttholes to the ball sacks, everything's going to be on that target. They're really awesome targets, and they pull easy. They hold up really, really well. We've been using them for 4 years. We have one of our targets. The Ibex was our original target that we got from them, and been shooting it for 4 years. And we're just now having to replace the core on it. I bet
can we get those here in the States?
Yeah, we're actually a dealer for them, and so we're going to be bringing up some targets with us to sell. You can order them on our website. I will say shipping on them is not very kind. It's expensive to ship a full-size target. So if you're interested in buying targets, we will have some there, and probably 30 or 40 targets that we'll sell. They're on our website as well, www.shot3dx.com. You can click on the targets for sale tab and see what we have. And I think we'll have a few more that's not on the website that will be on display in Pennsylvania. So they're the 60-yard max. That's more of a scenic kind of course. We're not going to throw a whole lot of trash at you or a lot of obstacles. What we do with those is we take a really good-looking target and say, like we have a bear with a fish in his mouth. It looks really cool. If we have a stream, we're going to put that bear with the fish in his mouth by the stream. We try to match up the target to the scene on the course. And it's just a really cool way of doing that and displaying those targets. There's some pretty cool targets. Every course out there is going to have some Wild Creek targets on it, but the Wild Creek course will have nothing but Wild Creek targets on it.
Beautiful.
Then the next one down from that is our Scent Thief course. They are out of Kansas. The sponsor Scent Thief. they provide a scent control product that is unique in the fact that how it works is once the deer or any animal gets a whiff of that spray that you put on, the scent thief, it shuts down a part of their nose to where they're unable to smell. So it eliminates their ability to smell anything. The only thing that they can smell is that scent thief, and it's kind of a neutral scent. So, really cool story behind scent thief and how it got started. They even got shut down by the Department of Defense, I believe, at one time because drug dogs and bomb sniffing dogs were not able to detect drugs and bombs using that product. So they had to kind of reformulate the product to be able to train the dogs with it. It's very effective. We use it here in Oklahoma. I can't tell you how many times I've been within yards of a deer and they never even winded me. Have a lot of success with it.
Believe it or not, we sell that 2-to-1 over every other scent control product here in the store.
Yeah, so you're familiar with it. It's some good stuff, man. I got bottles and bottles of it here because we use the crap out of it.
We call it COVID in a bottle because it takes the ability to smell.
It does. It's kind of trippy. Even like when you spray it on, you lose the ability to smell other things. You can still smell the scent thief, but I can't smell anything else. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's cool.
So that course is a max yardage of 40 yards. Very technical. So it's a shorter range course, but we're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at you on that one. It's going to be very technical in the fact that we may be playing with footing. We may be playing with obstacles, little V's in the tree that you have to shoot through, overhead obstructions, underneath obstructions, just whatever we can throw at you. That's going to be the technical course, although the ranges will range between 20 and 40 yards. And then the fifth course, up until this event, has been a competition course. We're not going to run a competition at Pennsylvania, but we are going to use those targets that we normally would use for competition and throw another course at you. Not really decided what the format of that course is going to be just yet. We may have a few little wrinkles for you guys on that one.
Call that the surprise course.
Yeah, it's sponsored. It's sponsored by Archery Garage.
Sorry, Jeremy, cut you off.
It's all right.
It may be scattered from like 20 yards to 80 yards. There's no telling. There'll be a little bit of everything in that one.
Yeah, that course is sponsored by Archery Garage. It's an app that you can download, a free app. Really cool app. What it allows you to do is it uses your location and it will give you all things archery on a map that is in your area. So if you're looking for a bow shop, if you're looking for a 3D range, if you're looking for an archery coach, if whatever you're looking for in the archery world, it's going to give you those locations, those shops, and everything in your area. And not just archery stuff, any outdoor shop. Like it'll pop up academies and Dick's Sporting Goods and stuff like that as well. So if you're a guy that travels a lot, it's a cool thing to have. If you're going out of state hunting a lot, you have an accident out in the woods and you need to go see a bow shop, boom, pulls it up. If you're traveling, visiting your family, you're like, man, I brought my bow. I want to go shoot. Is there any 3D courses around here? It'll show you all the clubs, all the courses, everything in your area. So it's a pretty cool app and it's free. That's called Archery Garage and it's available on Android and iPhone. So that's your courses for Pennsylvania. And if you have any questions about that, you can reach us on social media or on the on our website. There's an email address that you can reach out to us as well.
Now with the courses, so a guy or gal comes in, pays for a day pass. They can shoot one course, all courses, one course 20 times, 5 courses. I mean, right? They can just go and shoot the whole day, no matter where or how many times.
Yeah. the way we format our events, it's a true day pass. So it's $65 for a day. And if you do a 2-day or a 3-day or a 4-day, your price per day goes down. We offer bulk pricing on that, but it is a day pass. Once you're in the event, once you pay for your day, like you're there for all day long, or as long as you want to be. You can shoot any course that you want to with whoever that you want to shoot it with, as many times as you want to shoot. So you're in the event for the entire day. It's a free for all. You can shoot a course, then come up to base camp and run all these shots, then go back and shoot another course. There's no limit to it. So the only limiting factor is come around 5, 6 o'clock. We stop allowing people to start a course, especially the longer ones, because we don't want you out there after dark. So there is a kind of a time frame of no more starting a course after probably 6 o'clock in August.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And we are going to have transportation, obviously, up and down the mountain. The ski lift is not functioning yet. They're working on it. But we're going to have, I'll call it a hayride scenario, getting guys and gals up and down the mountain. And yeah, it's going to be cool. It's exciting to get you guys in here.
Well, I had a couple of questions for you, John. What are you currently shooting?
What am I shooting?
Yeah.
I'm shooting an Elite Artist.
Okay.
Over the course of the last few years, we've been Matthews dealer, been an Elite dealer, been a Bear dealer. And, I've been bow hunting I don't even want to tell you how old I am, but bow hunting forever. And I have shot, if it's a name brand, I've shot it at some point in time. And, I've always said, I've got my favorites because they fit me. But I've said, I've never been at full draw on a heartbeat with a critter with a heartbeat and thought, I am so glad my bow says on it, pick a manufacturer. So for me, it's always been, what feels comfortable for me. And when Elite came out with that Artist 2 years ago, it just fit me real well. But I've shot Darton, I've shot Matthews, I've shot Pro Lines, I've shot Bowtech, I've shot, it's finding a bow that fits you and what you're comfortable with. And that's the one I'm comfortable with right now. And I was talking with you guys last week. I picked it up for the first time this year and shot over the weekend.
Good. Well, what can we expect to see the most out of the crowd in Pennsylvania? What's the most popular bow brand out there right now in your area?
Well, from my perspective, I'm going to tell you it's probably Matthews or Hoyt. And the reason being is that's the dealers that are here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have a Darton dealer close to us. And of course, we all know Darton makes a great bow. Don't really have a Bear dealer close to us. So really what you're going to see is the major name brands. I think you're going to see a lot of Matthews. You're going to see a lot of Hoyt. You'll probably see some Elites and Bowtechs. But what you're really going to see is a bunch of us rednecks that love to do nothing more than shoot our bows. And I just tell you, they're going to be so excited to see what you guys have to offer, and to really get out on a championship level course.
Yeah, we're excited about it too. And it's much the same here. Very Matthews, Hoyt heavy territory in Oklahoma. Darton is making a big push over the last 2 years as far as market share goes. But I think Matthews probably is number one in market share, and probably Hoyt number two, and Darton is up there with them. That hasn't always been the case. Last 2 years, man, Darton's really been putting it on down here.
Well, something that we did, we've got a bow shop that's going to be there, obviously. Ram Archery out of Westfield, Pennsylvania. They're great guys, and they're going to have a pretty big setup. And I know you guys have a practice range, and we've got the area roped out already that we're going to use. And I went to them and I said, look, guys, I can put you in what I'm calling vendor row, which is close to where you guys will be set up. I said, but the other option, if you'd like, I'll set you up over by the practice range. The practice range actually has lights on it, and electricity. And you guys can set up there, which is where most to get up the hill, they have to walk past the practice range in their booth. And I think they're actually going to bring some new bows to let guys shoot too if they want. So they're going to be fun to have there. They're a great bunch of guys, easy to work with, and they're knowledgeable.
Yeah, we do that a lot at our events too, is try to get the bow shop that's at our event close to a practice range, and it works out for them too. They can demo bows, but it's going to happen. We get a derail or something happens on the course. They'll come down back to base camp and see the bow shop and get them fixed back up and hit the course again. So it's good to have them by the practice range where they can shoot.
Sure. And I'm sure nobody ever breaks arrows or loses fletching at one of these shoots either, do they?
We have buckets of arrows.
Well, those guys will be there to take care of those needs too. So
yeah. Our events sell a lot of arrows.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
One thing I'd like to talk about before we think about wrapping this up is, this event, we try to format this to be friendly for compound shooters and traditional shooters. And I get questions a lot. I have a trad bow. Can I shoot it? Absolutely. We have a ton of guys shooting trad bows that come to our event, and we encourage them. We want them to come. And the way we set this up is we set a cone up that's the design shot to shoot from the cone. It is designed for a compound shooter. So especially like on a scree course or the Rolling Bones course where we have 80, 90, 100-yard shots, that doesn't mean whether you have a compound or a trad bow that you have to shoot it from the cone. That is our ideal spot to shoot it from, but you don't have to shoot it from that spot. What we ask everybody is if you walk up and it's a 100-yard shot and maybe I have my wife with me and she can only dial down to 70, that's fine. She can shoot it. Just walk up to 70 yards in a straight line or whatever yardage that you feel comfortable, whether it's a kid or a trad bow or a female that can't get the distance. Walk up to whatever distance that you want to in a straight line. Don't change the angle of the shot, but get the distance closer and take the shot that you want to take. And that's kind of how we handle the trad guys. At one point in time, we had one course dedicated to nothing but trad guys, and we just didn't get the participation that we felt we needed to dedicate 20% of the courses to 10% of the crowd. So that's why we kind of changed it the way we do now. But we want to see the trad guys out there. We have a lot of guys that follow us. There's one individual from West Texas that comes to almost all of our events. He travels 8, 9, 10 hours at every event, and he shoots from the cone. Regardless of what course he's on, he'll shoot his trad bow, and he'll walk his arrows in, and he has a blast. He has a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, he got a bucket of arrows on his back too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, and he probably leaves a bucket of arrows behind too.
We find a few of them.
A few, but he's one of those guys. He may take 3 shots from the cone at 100 yards, and his first shot might land 20 yards short. So he aims a little higher and shoots again, and he'll walk his arrow into it, and he finds most of his stuff. But he's a good character, and we love having him there. And there's a lot of other trad guys that show up to our events, and we want to see more of them. So hopefully there's some guys watching this that are thinking or on the fence about coming to the event, and they're a trad shooter and they're not sure. Man, come give it a try. I guarantee you're going to have a good time. And because of the way we're formatted, you don't have a certain course that you have to shoot at a certain time. You can kind of pick and choose what course is busy or not busy. That's another important thing, I think, for the trad guys. They don't want to wait on compound dudes. Well, you can get on a course that's not busy or not bottlenecked, and you can blow through it pretty quick. And you don't have anybody in front of you or, approaching on the backside either. So,
one of the biggest things that we hear from the trad guys is they hate waiting on the compound guys to shoot, right? So one thing that we've noticed is when we do have our trad guys, most of the time when they catch up to a group of guys, 4 or 5 guys that are shooting compounds, most of the time they just let them shoot through. So if you guys are watching this and you have some Chad guys come up on you, just let them shoot real fast and get past you, and let them just keep on rolling through. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's not taking any more time up. It's letting them get through, and everybody kind of has a good time that way. So that's one thing that we do, and we see that most of the time. We don't even have to tell anybody that; they just kind of know it.
Yeah.
It's range etiquette, I think, and most people are good with that. So
Sure. Yeah, it's
one
going to be interesting to see who see him show up.
The real fast though is the number one thing that we want to put out there is safety. The reason that we have a lot of our shots, and Jereme kind of mentioned it, a straight line path. Safety is number one for us. So that's why we design these courses the way we do. So when you exit from pulling your arrow, we're taking you a little ways away. Some of these courses you may have to walk a little ways away, but that's for your safety. So we're getting you all the way away from the arrow where it's going to be hitting a target or possibly glancing off something else and hitting it. So if you have kids, like when I take my kid, we shoot from the cone, we walk him up to 20 yards, let him shoot. If you're looking for arrows, make sure if you're in a group, leave somebody in front of the target that's looking downrange back at the cone. That way they can see you. Leave something in front of the target. Leave your bow leaned up against the target, because when they go to glass the target, they're going to see a bow there, and they're going to know, oh, somebody's down there looking for an arrow. Sometimes an arrow is not worth looking for 20 minutes. I mean, if you can't find it right off the bat, let's just go ahead and call it a loss and go back and maybe have to pick up a few more from Ram Archery or wherever it may be. But safety is the number one priority. We do not give orange flags out or any of that stuff, but you guys want to wear an orange hat, stuff like that, we welcome that. But just a lot of it is common sense, and I know as someone who's been shooting a while, I take that for granted sometimes when we get a lot of new guys out there. If you see somebody that's kind of doing something like that, don't be afraid to mention it to them. Archery community is a great community, and I think everybody out there has the same goal in mind. So just talk to somebody. If you don't know what you're doing out there, jump in with the group that you know has done some stuff like this before. It's a good way to meet other people, but just always think about other people when you're out there on the range. Like I said, most of our course setups, we're trying to get you as far away from that target as soon as possible. So that's one thing that we really want to put out there and make sure that everybody is safe and goes home, and we don't need any unfortunate accidents happening out there. So
Absolutely.
Well, John, do you have any other questions or topics you want us to cover?
No, I again just I can't express how excited we are to have you guys coming and being part of something new that's been people have been looking forward to and asking us about and pushing to have done, and I can say with 100% clarity and clear conscience that of all the organizations that we talked to, we picked the right one with you guys. I can't say enough about how easy you guys have been to work with, in setting up an event that is what we want, and not coming in and dictating to us about do this, do that. And we're trying to set something up, like we were saying earlier, Jereme, that this thing here it's new, even though they've had archery shoots at Denton Hill State Park in the past. This is a brand new event, not to be confused with the previous events, and we know it's going to build, but the only way it can build is that everybody just has a good time when they come, and that's the goal. Is the vendors, the food vendors, the shooters. We just want everybody to come, have a good time, and come back to it every year, and then the following year bring friends and bring relatives or whatever the case may be. And I know that's how it's going to build. And the fact that you guys are so interactive with the shooters is going to play a large role in that, because guys are going to enjoy it. And if they enjoy it, they'll come back.
Yeah, it's kind of our mantra. How this all started is really the goal at every event for us is to generate a welcoming and positive and high energy atmosphere. And we want everybody just to have a good time, and if I fully believe if you generate a good environment and atmosphere during an event, you're going to leave that event with a feeling of, man, I can't wait to do that again. Do I really have to wait another year before we can shoot this again? And I felt that way the first time I shot a TAC event, and that's really kind of how this started. We shot a TAC event years ago, and was like, man, that was so much fun. I don't want to wait another year for TAC to come by to do that again. So we started throwing some targets in the backyard, and that evolved to what we're doing today. So the atmosphere and the environment that we create is probably the second most important thing next to the safety side of it. But it is really what drives us. We want to just generate a good atmosphere and have everybody just enjoy themselves. We're all there just to shoot some arrows in the woods at some targets and have a good time,
Mm-hmm. Redneck there.
Now, one last thing I would like to cover is the registration process on our website. Been receiving a few questions about that. Probably the most asked question is, do I have to pre-register to attend this event? And the answer is no. You do not have to pre-register. It is preferred.
I can.
We lost him.
It's about a 30-minute.
Nope. I can hear.
Hey, John,
Hello.
yeah. You went blacked out on us, and your audio is really messed up.
Well, I don't need to talk. I don't need to talk for this, do I?
Now, I'm going to put you on mute for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I'll finish that thought, and then we'll wrap this up. But you don't have to pre-register, but we prefer that. And we are expecting a larger crowd than normal for this Pennsylvania event. And we do have a sellout number in mind for each day. So I think what I'm trying to say is we encourage you to pre-register. That gives us a head count. And if in the event that we do sell out, we will sell out per day. And if you haven't pre-registered, then you will be missing out. So it's best if you just pre-register. We know you're coming and you're locked in. So I'm going to put John back on volume here. Okay, John, you're back.
Okay. Well, that was the nicest I've ever been told to shut up in my life.
Well, I don't know how it's going to come out on the recording, but the audio is a little bit different. We can't see you. You're blacked out for some reason, kind of like what happened yesterday. But I think we're at a good spot. I think we can wrap this up and get this posted over the next day or two.
Well, if you can hear me, the one thing I'll finish my side with is I can't tell you how excited I am to finally meet you guys face to face. I mean, literally tens upon tens of phone calls and emails and texts, and that's about time to shake hands and meet each other face to face. So,
yeah, same on our end, man. We're excited to meet you guys. We're excited to be there and get this thing rolling and meet everybody new up there.
it's a deal.
All right. They can find us on our Facebook page, Shot the 3D Experience. We're also on Instagram, the YouTube channel, Shot the 3D Experience. And our website is www.shot3dx.com. Go get registered.
All righty.
All right.
Mountain.
We'll see you.
See you guys.